Well, I guess this is my life now.
The reveal of Kirby Air Riders was completely unexpected, and what was slightly less unexpected are the amount of playable characters in it, and how much Kirby representation they come with. The original Air Ride only had colored Kirbys, DDD, and Meta Knight, and for a long time people thought, for some reason, Sakurai only cared about the Kirby games he had a hand in.
If you clicked on this video, I'm sure I don't have to explain who he is to you.
That's just not true at all. The bias most likely comes from the fact that he's more familiar with the stuff he's done for a franchise rather than what every other director has done. It's just really silly to think that he hasn't made a Kirby game in 20 years and will continue to ignore the dozens of games that released since then. And I believe one of the many good pieces of evidence of that is the alternate colors. Smash Bros is quite famous for having some amazing references for some ults, and also some of the worst ults of all time, and also some of the most obvious ults that just didn't happen for some reason, and somehow all of that applies to Pac-Man. But Air Riders, for the most part, had some pretty good ones, and if you want to see what the references are, I do 2 shorts on them, a nice plug there, yeah. But there's just one thing that's been bothering me, and kind of probably worth complaining about because it doesn't really make any sense. Why does almost everyone only have 2 colors? Kirby having the most makes sense, sure. DD has 4, and Meta Knight has 3, everyone else has 2. So that got me thinking, what if I took it upon myself to give everyone extra colors so everyone on the roster has 4? I would have done 6, but that's just a lot of work, you know, and I'm in the middle of making a probably better video than this one, so yeah. A lot of these will be references, some of them just looked good to me, but for the most part, I tried to tie them to something. And for the sake of consistency and my sanity, Kirby and DDD aren't getting any more, they got enough. Although it really bothers me that they added purple Kirby but removed orange Kirby from the Smash ults, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna resist. Thankfully, Meta Knight has 2 alt colors, and it's very easy to figure out what a hypothetical third one could be. Alt color 2 is based on Dark Meta Knight, and alt color 3 is based on Galactic Knight. So alt color 4 would be based on another Knight, and the only 2 Knights left are Mecha and Morpho. And I decided to pick neither. Now hear me out on this one. Let me explain. Hold on. See, as I alluded to earlier, most ults that Kirby, DD, and Meta Knight have are all in Smash Ultimate. And like, yeah, of course they are. That's probably why DD has as many as he does. The 2 ults Meta Knight has in this game are more clear-cut references. Not just changing the color, but the design of the mask as well. Now, yes, I could probably just ignore the rule, but look, man, I have a life to get to, so I wanted to pick another one of these Smash colors, and the only one that wasn't a reference to the original Air Ride was this one right here, which, excluding the red eyes, is seemingly referencing his Kirby's Adventure art, which sees him with a darker body and mask and a red cape. And hey, Meta Knight is a knight, we can just count that. I swear the rest of these won't be that in-depth. Waddle Dee thankfully already comes in a variety of colors, but unfortunately, those colors are all just different shades of orange. So I wanted to get a little more creative. There's one for Golden Waddle Dee, so why not have one for the silver one, known as the Toughness Waddle Dee from Triple Deluxe, which took the place of Mr. Sandbag from Return to Dreamland. Little guy really can't catch a break. Now this next one, I was honestly scraping the bottom of the barrel here because I had better ideas for the other 2 waddlers, and I tried to not have repeats, so I decided to dip him in Nickelodeon slime and call it a day. And of course this is a reference to Game Boy Green, but I feel like the reason doing it this way works is because it's just a Waddle Dee. You can have an ult like this and it's Waddle Dee, like come on man, it's fine. So remember when I said Waddle Dees pretty much only come in shades of orange, like 1 minute ago? Bandana Waddle Dee, as well as your partner Waddle Dee in Superstar, looked more like an in-between of red and orange. Makes you wish that kind of color had a name. And I'm assuming that's what they wanted to achieve with this Bandy ult, but like, that's really the only reference they got there. And when it comes to making my own, I realized, yeah, that's for a good reason. So we can't do yellow, and we can't do green, but we can do blue. But for this blue, I gave them a yellow bandana and a white ribbon, which are the 3 colors of the parasol Bandy used in Kirby Battle Royale. And you know what? I think I cooked with this personally. Now the next one might be gray, but this is a different gray from the Toughness Waddle Dee. with a white bandana, which is the two colors of the Halcandrides from Return to Dreamland, which is Bandy's breakout hit. And you can see I put a red ribbon on the spear instead of like an orange one, just to reference it being red before. Since Kirby Fighters 2 they changed it to yellow, and I just thought it would be neat to have one bring it back. Okay, so let me tell you about King Doo. So King Doo normally is yellow with orange feet, but unfortunately, yellow with orange feet is already taken by Waddle Dee, so instead I decided to do King Doo EX, which is tan with red feet, and that works pretty well. And another obvious alt is to have this light purple or pink, whatever, one of the palettes it gets in Kirby's Adventure. I just gave it to Waddle Doo because I think it looks best in it. Kawasaki starts a pretty long streak of very easy colors that could have been put in any one of the enemies.
In Superstars, Milky Way Wishes, and Nightmare in Dreamland, there are multiple colors an enemy can be instead of just one.
So I'm afraid for most of those I thought I would just give them one of the colors from those palettes. And in his case I gave him the unused pink and yellow from Superstar because it looks good. All of the ones I made just look good, what do you want me to say? And the other is blue, based on the sushi chef outfit Kawasaki wears in the Samurai Kirby minigame of the same game, Superstar, just in case you forgot. The reason Joe's 1 pisses me off so much is because this is clearly the enemy palette version from Superstar without the white hair. So I'm just gonna give him the white hair with this one. And a purplish garb with a green headband, which references how Knuckle Joe used to look in the anime. Seriously, just why did he look like that? And this next one is orange with black hair and a blue bandana. Go ahead. Tell me what it's based on. You know what it is. Tell me in the comments. They would never do it, I just thought it would be cool if I did it to him, and also I didn't really have any other ideas. Obviously, Rick would have one for Pick, his girlfriend, which is just a pink version of him with a bow, which are most girlfriends in this universe, to be fair. Unfortunately, Rick doesn't really have any other colors. I would have made one based on Nago, the other land-based animal buddy, but his color scheme is just too similar to normal Rick. Rick does change color depending on the ability you get in Dreamland 2, so the one I decided to go with is blue, and I think blue looks good, and also blue was used in Star Allies, and blue was Kind's color, so it works out. Gooey is pretty easy. Black, because that's what he looked like in Dreamland 2, and white with deep red eyes like he stuck that tongue in a bong for too long, which is a reference to Zero, who is the leader of Dark Matter, which Gooey is a piece of, so that's why I chose it, and also he's the final boss of Dreamland 3 and Gooey's playable in that game. Moving on. Cappy gets an orange mushroom cap, which is one of its alt colors in Milky Way Wishes, and the other one is a reference to the Poison Mash, which is a stronger version of Cappy in Superstar Ultra's Revenge of the King, which honestly should have been the alt in the first place, because it just makes more sense. Although, in my research for this video, I actually found out about the Blopper, which is a very obscure Kirby enemy, only appearing in Dreamland's Extra game and Pinball Land. So I generally think nobody knows about it. I'm pretty sure that's what the purple Cappy color is based on, because the Blopper replaces Cappy in Extra game and it's purple, so that's kind of wild if true. Rocky has a pink alt in reference to Salt Rocks, which is what Kirby turns into using the stone ability, so this one can be gold, which is another thing Kirby can turn into, and gray, which is another thing Kirby can turn into, but this one's more reminiscent of Mondo EX's colors from Return to Dreamland because of the black and yellow headband he's got on. Scarfy is unique because it has 2 different forms, and I decided to use this to get even more creative. There pretty much hasn't been a Scarfy like this except maybe one of its palettes in Adventure, but you see, this isn't the exact focus here. This is. This red angry Scarfy is how it looks in Kirby 64, being more red than a same or similar or darker orange, and how they're supposed to look when a pink Scarfy or Hunter Scarfy gets angry. And this second one here you can maybe say is Game Boy Gray, but either way, once again, Angry Scarfy is the focus here. It started to become more black than dark orange since Return to Dreamland, and to be quite honest, I like it better. Yeah, I know, liking black and red color schemes, very original, but like, come on, like, literally any warm color and black, it's just a perfect... Starman was also pretty easy. Yellow cape because this art from Kirby's Adventure had a yellow cape, and a green cape and gem, which is what it looked like in Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. Moving on. Before I even started this, I knew Eggerland references were my top priority when it came to Lolo and La La La. Although they were pretty much always blue and pink, There are instances where different colors being references work. For example, The Adventures of Lolo box art shows him lighter a blue than usual, and Lala was sometimes red with a white bow instead of pink in the Eggerland games. And this one shows Lolo being a hotter pink and Lala being green with a light blue bow, which is also something she had, as well as them having colored feet in Revival Eggerland. I just made their body that color instead of just their feet because it would just kind of look weird. Obviously, Marks gets a Mark Soul alt, which is something that he should have had to begin with, and the other one has the colors of his hat inverted, which is just what the mirror hat looks like in Superstar, which is also why I added some elements from the new mirror hat in Planet Robobot. DeRoach already has a Dark DeRoach alt, so the next best thing would to obviously reference his gang, the Squeaks. The yellow one references Spinny, the small fast one, but I did turn the red into a darker orange because DeRoach's normal getup is already red. And the blue-green one references Doc, the small flying one. The red isn't there at all because without his machines, Doc is green and blue. Okay, the big three of modern Kirby are pretty easy, thankfully. Magler would obviously have his shopkeeper look in Kirby Clash Deluxe with the white and green, and the other one would be similar to his boss form when he gets the Master Crown for the first time. Torrento would also get his Kirby Clash Deluxe look with the purple in there, and the other one I decided would represent Soul of Setonia Blue, because we already got yellow and purple and red, kinda, so this works nicely. And finally, Susie would have one of her alts representing her father, President Haltman, and this one is just a little bit self-indulgent, the Yellow Susie alt from Star Allies, because, come on, it's like the best one, guys. Come on, throw me a bone here. Spoilers for Air Rider Story Mode in 3, 2, 1. So I didn't even know Noir Deity had another alt, to be honest. I kind of thought it was just going to be a one-and-done deal. Unfortunately, the one other color he does have is kind of underwhelming. Like, I know he has to be Noir, because that's like his whole thing, but I don't really care. I guess I'm just going to have to follow the rule here, though. So I think Noir D's original colors is this gray metal with blue fire, and the other one is ground metal, which could be bronze or corrosion, whatever it may be, with purple fire. So this next one I think should be brass with light red fire, which is as close as we can get to an actual reference to Deity's regular color, with the crown and the beak and the red on his robe. It kind of works. And after that, you know, that's kind of difficult because all the other metals are gray, brown, or yellow, so the best I can do is just make a lighter gray, like platinum or aluminum. But this time, I gave him a purple robe and yellow fire to reference King D-Mine from Kirby Clash, because he kind of has the color scheme. It makes sense. I don't really care that this is out of place. I worked too hard on this. Cut me some slack. And there you have it. All potential alternate colors for characters who have one. And Meta Knight. Honestly, this was really fun to do. I really like doing the research for this one and just using my brain. Usually I don't do YouTuber outros like this, but you know, I feel like it would just be naked without me saying to like and subscribe, you know what I mean? It's just like, what else am I gonna say? Like, bye? No, but seriously, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much, and you know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to give my other ones a watch as well, but the ones from less than 4 years ago, anything older than that is just kind of cringe. I wouldn't watch those. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Oh god, I'm not good at this.